Hey Glock fans, I'd like to walk you through some changes I've made to my Glock 26. These are both Gen 4s, and the changes are night sights, magazine extensions, tungsten guide rod, and backplates. So let's start with the backplate. This is a mostly unmodified Gen 4, and I changed out the backplate. So this is an aluminum backplate. It's got a laser etched number 26 on it, and you know, it kind of looks neat. And it was just a little. It's probably the first mod that I made. I did that to both of these guns. The second thing that I wanted to show you was all of these magazine extension options. So these are Pierce grip extensions. These three. And the only modification I made to the grip, all three of them, I had to sand off this piece here because it pinches when you fire. You know, that recoil gives you a pinch right here that it actually made me bleed. So just a little sanding on the belt sander to recontour it, and then I polished it with some clear plastic polish, and that made it nice and smooth and left enough of a gap where it doesn't pinch anymore. This is the +2. I'm sorry, this is a +1, and adds a little bit more depth here on the end. Oh, I forgot to mention I did put a plug in the end here also on both of these. Anyway, then this is the +2. And, you know, the problem I had with these is, you know, they're a modification. You're cramming more into the same spring. There's more pressure on this non-stock assembly here, and you know, I've never had one fail, but it just kind of makes me nervous. And if you're gonna go this far, you know, why not go all the way? Glock mags fit, they just hang out. So I went searching for a better solution, and the Glock store modified a you know, commercially available magazine sleeve to create this. Actually, I really want to use the empty one. So this is a readily available. There's two primary brands. This is the hard plastic brand. The problem is it doesn't fit the Gen 4. So what the Glock store did was they reshaped the front and the back of the extension. They cut this nice finger groove in here, and then they stippled it. And you can see, if you look very carefully, the difference between the stock molded plastic and the area that they shaped. So they added contour here in the back, but not to the point where it curves in too far. And then they put the finger grip in, as I mentioned, and also, it's hard to see, but they added contour on either side. And that gives you just a perfect fit on a full-size magazine. The other thing I like about this extension is it's got an Allen set screw, so it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's on there permanently. Anyway, that really rounds off, you know, a compact gun like this one. You get a full-size mag capacity in the same, you know, shorter barrel package. You know, if this was like a boat gun or a truck gun, this is the way I would carry it. It's not really concealable in my opinion, but you know, as a travel gun, this really makes sense to me. Plus, you're retaining the factory backplate, so there's no concern on that popping off. So the second modification I wanted to share is this Tungsten Guide Rod. So this is available at the Glock store. It's about $70. It's tungsten material versus the plastic and aluminum that the factory one's made out of. Maybe it's plastic and stainless, but here's what they look like side by side. The tungsten one on the right is solid versus this little hole here. This feels like plastic, not really sure what it is, but this is definitely metal. It's heavier, it's noticeably heavier. And these come in different pound, you know, different spring rates. The factory spring rate is 16 pounds, so that's what I ordered. I didn't want to change anything about the way the gun performed. But I have heard if you put a silencer on your Glock that increasing this spring rate will actually cause the silencer to be quieter. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I've heard. Anyway, so installing this is really very simple. I can't remember, pretty sure it's this one that has the factory spring in it. Yep. So just pop out the factory spring, and because this is plastic and the tolerances are not as tight, it was a little difficult to get this in the first time. You had to kind of finagle it in there. But once you lined it up, see what I mean? Once you lined it up properly, there we go, and got it in there, it fits just like the factory one. It sticks out a little bit further here, and it actually matches the coating on the slide better than the factory one. But reassemble, and it adds noticeable weight to the tip of the gun. So here's what I noticed. If you're a poor shot, this probably isn't going to do anything for you. But if you're a good shot and you have good form, this has the potential to tighten up your group, for me, by almost 50%. So here's what would happen. I'm pretty good at handling my recoil. You know, I bring the gun back. I allow the gun to come backwards. I don't have a lot of this going on. So if you shoot like me and you do control the tip of that gun well, this will get you back on target much faster and much more accurately. It improved my group by about 50% rapid firing at about 25 yards. So the weight difference is noticeable. With a full mag, it's not quite as noticeable, but it helps keep the recoil coming back in a linear motion versus the pop that you get, especially with smaller, lighter guns. So anyway, that was an exciting upgrade. Anything that improves my accuracy is exciting to me, and this one made a big difference. If you're a pretty good shot, I don't see why you wouldn't have the same result, because all you're doing is you're just changing the geometry of the gun. So anyway, those are the upgrades. Oh, also, last upgrade was night sights. I went with the Glock factory night sights. I try to go with the factory stuff whenever I can. I just trust it. And these are the Tritium Glock factory night sights, and they're about a year old, and they are just as bright as the day I got them. They're low profile, and I've been real happy with them. I bought another set to modify the second 26 that I have. I like to keep everything identical. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you some ideas. This, by far, I'm the most impressed with the craftsmanship from the Glock store, and the time that it took to get it. The cost, it was only about $25 extra to have them do this work on 2 of these extensions, so $12.50 each. So very, very reasonable. Really happy. So anyway, little free plug for the Glock store there, and all of this stuff I actually got through the Glock store. Great service, great prices. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.